buddy. And I'm going to turn on just a spot of music while we wait.
And they've started draft already. I told them just to...
All right. Well, I'll just go straight into that then.
At least they... Maybe they haven't started draft? Maybe they're close. They're close.
They're close. They're just making us wait for it.
Exactly.
We'll go wait in lobby while we wait for them to actually officially start draft.
Totally.
Hello, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good day as you guys slowly start to fill out the chat. I'm still Horizon Cast. This is still a chance. This is the Financial League. It's the Jobless Piggies for Esports Chaos. We're getting the R draft. How you feeling, man? Been a minute.
Dude, it's been a minute. I'm pumped to be back. I think we've got a sick series in front of us. I believe the last time we cast together, we got an absolute banger.
Absolutely.
3 games in the series, so I'm excited to see what Fortune has for us in the future.
That is what I'm hoping for as well, to get a full best of 3 series. And just going to launch straight into draft. Nocturne getting taken off the board. Love to see it. Not wanting to see any of those globals.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Nocturne, just like such an annoying champion because it's so good. It changes the way you have to think about your macro moves, and don't blame him at all taking it off the table.
Yeah, I think any way that you can just deny the super spooky man, just turn off the lights, I think feels good. It's also like that global threat. Like, just once Nocturne reaches 6, it just feels so bad to play against if you're somewhat immobile and squishy. So it's good that Jobless Piggies just wants to remove that.
TF as well. I'm sensing a theme here from the Jobless Piggies, taking 2 semi-globals off the table.
Do you have an idea of how much these teams scrim each other? I'm interested to see like if maybe there was a scrim that just didn't go so well and they were like, no more globals.
That is a great question, Horizon. I don't know that detail exactly, but it's worth mentioning that we are, of course, in week 4 of the LBLCS season. So by now, teams have gotten, some of the measure of the field. Even if there's teams that you haven't played against yet, they have played a couple of matches. There's data out there to understand. Everyone's had a pop. Everyone who's popped off on something, you kind of know about. So maybe these are in response to that.
Yeah. Like what 4G Esports is starting to put together. I like Caitlyn Thresh. I think it's a great combo. I think Thresh gets a little bit more difficult to play in late game team fight situations where, because he's such a heavy macro champion, execution can be a little bit difficult, but also just the utility that he brings in. If you know how to play around that champion, it is game changing.
Yeah, no, it totally is. Offers a crazy amount of utility.
That's Ash Seraphine. That's disgusting. Fun fact, that's how I climbed out of gold, was just spamming Ash Seraphine in solo queue. I was just telling all my ADCs, if you have Ash, play it. We'll play Ash Seraphine. We'll win the lane. You know what they say, if you win the lane, you win the game.
Of course. That's all that matters. Well, we're going to get to see it on display today.
Ooh, how do you feel about the Renekton matchup? I feel like we've seen this a lot, both just in the LBLCS, but then also from a professional standpoint, where this matchup gets played a lot, and I feel like Gnar is just the ultimate lane bully, even into Renekton.
Yeah, I mean, you're everything, right? You're a tank, you're an ADC. You've got a ton of different kinds of tools in that toolkit for you to reach in and use. It's nice having that range, but if Renekton can get on top of you, that's always the if there. I feel like Renekton can always get out of control if they're playing the right way and being as aggressive as they can.
Absolutely. Something I think is interesting, the Jobless Piggies just did. They took away the Jarvan pick there in the jungle, which to me is interesting given that it's a Thresh Caitlyn on the other side, both of which kind of struggle to get away from Hardink HCC, and the ability to lock down the Caitlyn and just eliminate her at the beginning of the fight seems really valuable, and especially what they drafted. I think just to me it's interesting that they would take that off the board.
Yeah, I like this this Syndra and this Mel here. I'm excited to see some things get reflected.
Yeah, the ultimate is the first thing that comes to mind. Having that ultimate reflected back at you would not be fun as Syndra, who is also fairly immobile in that mid lane. Also, Mel just like a super big lane bully, like even past the nerfs.
Skarnar. I haven't seen Skarnar in a minute.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about Skarnar. I feel like given the other junglers that are very strong on the meta right now, like Skarnar as a frontliner and as a bruiser does fairly well, but also like you can be lacking in some of that late game damage or utility that some other junglers bring. That said, the Impale is a great ultimate, especially given what they've already drafted between the Encore and the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. So like a ton of CC here for the side of the Jobless Piggies.
Totally, yeah. Some fantastic pick potential at any range, really. And yeah, if Skarnar does grab a grip of people, you can just pour CC into them really, really easily and follow up with that damage. Oh, it's been so long, I've forgotten that it's my job to begin the prediction. Which I will hear in a second. But while I get that set up, Horizon, how do these comps look to you?
I gotta say, I like what Jobless Piggies have put together. That comp is gonna be very, very easy to play. I mean, just look at the tremendous amount of CC that they have. I mean, Enchanted Crystal Arrow, Encore. I forgot what Syndra's ulti is called. It's not Unleash Presence. I forgot what it is.
I don't know either.
But then, like Skarnar, like this is just wombo combo ulti. Like they can pick any specific member or couple of members really that they want. And then also, I think bot side for them is going to go really, really well. Ashe Seraphine is just a tremendously oppressive lane, even into the range that Caitlyn Thresh has. Thresh will kind of struggle a little bit in this lane early through some of the poke. Now, once they start to get like level 5, level 6, like Caitlyn lane, as long as like they're proactive with the poke and stuff like that, they should be fine. The one concern I really have in this game right now is that top side, that Renekton versus Gnar matchup. Just because typically like Gnar is such a massive lane bully into champions like Renekton, it's really difficult to lock that champion down. And Shen, not the greatest entry tools into trying to get onto Gnar. Like Gnar, as long as he has flash or the hop and skip ability to get away, like he should be relatively safe to just continue to push out lane. So that would be the only concern I have there, is if that Gnar gets out really, really ahead. I will say though, like in terms of standings, not that this matters super a lot, but I would have said like Jobless Piggies, they're doing a little bit better in the standing versus Forge Esports, who have kind of struggled so far. So I think like both these teams really want to walk away with the win. And so I think just if I'm looking at both these drafts, they've drafted comfort.
Yeah. And you know, can't really blame them for that. And not just comfort in terms of their solo play, but again, we're a month into this season. By this time, the teams have been getting a lot of practice together. Like what we're about to see has very likely been tried and tested by both of these teams. But I agree with your points here. I'm really liking the CC that I'm seeing on the side of the Jobless Piggies. And I'm so excited to see how this bot lane plays out. The pop that it got out of you, where you were like, "Oh, it's the thing! It's the thing! It's the thing I've been doing!" Yeah. I'm pumped to see it play out here.
Well, it's just so abusable. I mean, the thing is you have so much comfort in the lane, and you have a lot of utility. You can passively stun people. You have a lot of regeneration with the empowered W, and then the Q just for passive poke is really good, especially into champions like Thresh that don't necessarily have inherent health regen. So you kind of just have to eat it if you're the Thresh. And the gamble you're taking, you know, if you're Forge Esports, is that later on you're going to get more usage out of the Thresh, that maybe you'll be able to pull more plays in. But I still think like even in late game, I think the Seraphine's worth more. And then like ease of execution. We've talked about this a couple times, like even in the last series that we casted. When you get in those really tense moments where it's all about like last second decisions, snap decisions, like having to execute on a composition or on a moment, and everything's really tense and really stressful, and like there's a lot going on, the easier it is to press your buttons and to get your wombo combo off, the easier of a time you're going to have in these team fights. And I definitely think that Jobless Piggies, like they've drafted a comp that just has a lot of synergy and is really, really easy to play in those moments.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Just to clarify one thing about the standing, so it does look like Forge Esports well, it looks like they're behind reporting a game, which at this point in the season, it's very likely there was just a scheduling mishap and it got shunted to the makeup week at the end of the season. So right now, Forge Esports is 1-1. and Jobless Piggies are 1-2.
1-2. Okay.
So your point does still stand that everyone really does want to walk away with this, especially since these are right now. Jobless Piggies is sitting right below the cutoff for making it into playoffs, and there's still a ton of time. Quite frankly, there's still a ton of time for
there's more than
for
half the
everybody. Exactly. But yeah, actually really good on Jobless Piggies. They are, by playing this game, and again, sometimes the updating is a little bit slow, but they'll be exactly right on track. So good on them for making every week work so far. Well done, guys.
Yeah, I mean, massive respect to them. That's one of the things that I think you have to pay homage to, like in rec leagues like that, is with all the different schedules that people have, people working, people in school, people have other things going on in their lives. The ability to play those games in and out every week and be consistent, that's worthy of applause. And even if it's not necessarily resulting in wins consistently, like the ability to play that and keep that momentum, if you can't get a win, is huge. So, and if they get a win, today, and they're able to continue consistently scheduling, like that helps you build momentum in a season and get back in playoff contention.
Totally. Racked Collins says, JP 3-0. Their first time chatter. What's up? Welcome. Just so you know, this is just a best of 3. So a 3-0, not on the table, but I like where your head's at. I like the enthusiasm. I like that you're here to support your team. But if they 3-0, that means we got tricked into casting a game that we weren't supposed to cast.
Absolutely.
So.
We cast the extra unplayed game if they go to which would be funny.
Yeah, we're just on autopilot.
Yeah, we're gonna treat that as an early prediction of like Jobless Piggies just making it to grand finals where they're just gonna play a 5-0. That's just like,
I like that.
Yeah, we'll treat that as like an early confidence prediction. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Lock it in here, folks. Yeah, I thought this was low budget. I know, dude. I know. This is Horizon just showed up and was like, "Oh, I can make this look really nice." And we're like, "Okay, thank you."
I'm chronically a tryhard. I wish I could stop, but it's a medical condition. I literally can't help. I literally can't help myself.
I don't know who's telling you to stop. This is amazing. This is
Nobody.
amazing. You've got talents. You've got skills. Keep cranking, dude.
It's a lot of fun. I like being able to, throughout the weeks, you get a chance to look at where all the teams are at, and you get to put this kind of stuff together, and it's like a great visual representation of how teams are doing, because you don't always get to see these teams play. So you're in and out of different leagues throughout the week, and you're getting snapshots in time of how certain teams are doing. But it's great to have a representation like this, and so it's really exciting to get to cast teams like this and see how well they're doing, and be involved and seeing the run to the playoffs, because you get to build these narratives later on in the season whenever these guys really start to get towards that playoff contention and start to, potentially work towards the grand finals. And I mean, like already, like great compositions. This is going to be a very fun game. Like there's a lot of stuff that can happen really quickly in this game. Something I just want to point out, that Gnar is in the jungle position there for Esports. The Shin is currently occupying that top lane spot. I just want to point this out.
Wait, I didn't clock that at all, dude. Wow.
This changes things a little bit in terms of that, because the one thing that we worried about is like that Gnar versus Renekton thing. I still think Shin is somewhat of an oppressive matchup depending on the player skill. And Renekton, just because the Spirit Refuge is like a great ability to just deny a lot of auto attack damage. But still, like, I mean, the Renekton, obviously a lane bully, traditionally into matchups where it is favorable. So the Gnar being into the Skarner is a little mind-boggling, because normally you're used to seeing the Shen in the jungle. Makes sense, jungle presence, doesn't have too bad a time clearing, has the global ultimate. I don't know how I feel about the Gnar.
Dude, I'm pumped. Anytime I see something I don't understand, I'm like, hell yeah, fucking show me. Show me how to do it. Yeah, hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Damn, I'm watching too many Instagram reels. Yeah, listen, this is the great thing about League at all levels, is when you see something where you're like, all right, I don't know how that works, and I cannot wait to see. So yeah, I'm pumped to see how this plays out. Also, if this was like a pivot, they're like, oh wait, actually I do want Shen in the top lane. Like I don't want to play Gnar into this. I mean,
I'm just curious if you've ever seen that. If you've ever seen that CR Grapho meme where it's the two boxers and one boxer goes to do the Kamehameha, and then the other guy just quits, and I'm pretty sure he can't, but I wasn't about to find out. And it's just one of those moments where it's just like you're switching out and you put the you had that Shen into the Skarner matchup, and maybe 4G Sports was like, we're not entirely sure, so we're just gonna switch this out and potentially dodge out on what might be a really bad matchup.
Yeah. Hey, whatever's going on in the background, the communication, they've at least right now, everyone's got a plan, right? We'll see if that plan survives. But everyone does have a plan of sorts.
Yeah. I also want to point out, unlike last time, the lowdown and the overlay for this thing did not betray me. So we have at least a flawless start and execution to this game, which I really appreciate. And
whoa, I don't know what happened, but I'm so stupid.
happened?
Wait, I'm so dumb. Oh my god. Boy, that's the dumbest thing I've done in a long time. I was trying to adjust the volume, but I turned my mouse speed down all the way.
No. Oh, speaking
That was like, oh shit.
Speaking of, no, 962 got hooked.
Yeah, a little bit of a kerfuffle there. Anyways, I'm a silly little boy, but now here we are in the game. Yeah, man. I mean, we're seeing a little bit of the chip damage come through already.
And I think for Jobless Piggies in that bot side, like we highlighted, looking to see Ashe and Seraphine push it out. That's what we'll expect. They're going to have good early control, and that's like a great negation of that Caitlyn advantage with that range, is just being able to have AoE damage and then obviously just sustain, which is much better in the lane. So as long as they're not getting hooked by this Thresh, it should just be a fairly easy time.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to keep playing that mini game, and I think it's gonna really come down to all about like owning those bushes and cutting vision, warding, not letting Thresh get a sneaky angle. Yep. And on the other side, Thresh is gonna be trying to do exactly that.
They switched back, by the way. So the Nar's in the top side and the Shin's in the jungle. So I don't know if they just switched the players that were playing those champions in the role, but yeah, like the way it looked like that Shin was going to be in the top side. So we were we were bamboozled.
We were bamboozled. I was ready to see something I had never seen before.
I mean, I was going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay, maybe there's an angle where this isn't the worst thing in the world. But they were just like, nah, we're going to switch back.
And I mean, to your point, though, I mean, the bullying is coming through here. Yeah. Nar is just slapping Renekton around. He's just going to have a hard time because he's using a giant Klingon blade instead of a boomerang. Although, very nice slice and dice going forward. I mean, that's how you kind of have to play it. You have to find those cheeky angles where you get the double slice and dice. You can pull off the full damage combo and get out of there before you take too much damage in response.
Yeah, it's the only way to win that matchup, but you got to find your times to do it. Eris with the insta cleanse.
Yeah, right on the money, not wasting a second to find out whether or not that was the right or wrong time to use it. Yeah,
trap goes down. That's a lot of damage potentially killed there, especially with him having Ignite. Like, they want to play aggressive that lane wherever possible. So, I think maybe, like, if you're like Sulky, maybe you chance not blowing that Ignite, but you don't know if there's another trap available for Caitlyn. So I respect, like, he just wants to play it safe. No reason not to blow it. And it's not like a super long cooldown on that summoner ability anyway, so as long as they're not getting hooked too much, it shouldn't be a problem. But, should have only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
That's what they say all the time. Oh, we've got a bit of a gank. Nope, they're going to peel off right there. It's good placement by the Syndra, just knowing that their jungler's on the bottom side of the map, staying on the right side of the lane. That's such a hard thing to keep in the back of your mind. Is like, they are both there. And they both keep fainting, backing.
Only one person's recalling. Go.
Yo, wait. Hold off. Skarner's going to go for it. That's a flash. Some CC underneath the turret. They're going to pull a flash in response. There's the flash. There's the taunt. First blood goes to the Shen.
Yeah, you just don't do that, man. You can't go underneath the turret like that and expect to live. Great flash out by the Mel to get that one down and just to make sure that they could trade for something. We'll get to watch that in a replay here in a second, but just great response time. I mean, it's one of those things where, you only have a second to respond, as we're just going to go straight into it. Is it did not?
Replay.
Well, I told it to replay, and it didn't, so let's try this again. Let's see if I can...
Damn you, technology. Don't betray us.
Technology. 1 second. I'm going to make sure that this is actually working. It's supposed to. Everything's set up right, and I'm not sure why it wouldn't...
it just sort of narratively knows what Twitch channel it's on right now, and it's
yeah,
like,
it's fighting.
I got you.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. Yeah, so it's just not interesting.
Please hold on, folks, for one moment as we address our technical issues.
Yeah, we'll go back into in-game as I get that figured out. Sorry about that. We'll get that sorted out for everybody.
You know, for the entire duration of the LBLCS, I've never had instant replay. I can wait a little bit longer.
No, I want to make sure we're getting it because I like having that instant replay to look at moments like that. Replay buffer is going. But you tell everybody what we're looking at while I try and sort our problems.
Well, I hate to break it to you, I can't actually. Oh right, I guess I can just look at the other thing, folks. Ain't nothing too crazy happening right now. We're just in your basic holding pattern. But financially, there are some interesting things happening. I guess we've got a 1,500 gold lead on the side of the Forge Esports right here. And actually, there's a pretty rad dragon fight that's about to happen as a Thresh hook connects with the Ashe. You guys can't see this, so it doesn't matter. But there's Ashe going down as Vivicell gets the kill. Seraphine still in this fight, trying to slap Vivicell around. But Vivicell 1-0-1 right now. They're going to pick up another kill down there, too. Beautiful collapse on that dragon.
So I figured out what it is that's not allowing it to play. It's just the hotkeys. For whatever reason, it's not bounce. I'll have to rebound it, but that shouldn't take more than a second.
Beautiful. Also, seems like we've got a live update here from Sammy2Slap, who says, NG Gremlins up 1-0 on the Cuddly League dudes. Also, LeChance licks toes. Thank you, Sammy, for being a street side reporter here.
Yeah, that's the kind of league update I need. Yeah, but more of what LeChance likes to lick.
Listen, Sammy has got your back on that. Trust me. Also, Pickle Hater cheered, and also said LeChance licks toes. Thank you, Pickle Hater. Who's also just been cheering for Vivicell. I love seeing fans. It's just toes, really. Love seeing fans come out for their team. Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Everyone's able to see what's going on in there, correct?
I believe so. I just can't see it on. It says that your stream is paused on Discord for me.
Oh, what the heck? I wonder if it's because I did something weird with the thing.
Maybe. Oh, yep. We're back.
I'm so sorry about that.
Beautiful. No worries. As a series of kerfuffles are breaking out here, we're seeing that Skarner ult being dropped. Mel dropping her ult as well to keep herself alive, reflecting it onto the Syndra. And now the turntables have turned as the Shen gets the kill once again and is being pushed under towers. But he's going to be able to walk his way out. This Shen is really, really making a meal out of this.
Yeah, doing a really good job of being proactive around the map. Oh, flash forward, though.
Oh, he wants that Gnar, but he wasn't able to get it off. Although Gnar also missing that third passive hit there, which I believe would have given him a little bit of movement speed. He could have used to chase down this Renekton. That's ballsy, sticking around at that low health around this Renekton.
All right,
oh, there's the hook. It lands. He goes for the combo, but the arrow doesn't stop him as Vivicell buffers it perfectly for the kill.
What a great response there. Let's see if we can get the instant replay on that one, as in fact we can. A replay is working, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
As we're going to see quite a bit there, so we'll be able to see a couple of these plays. So Chance, break us down what we were seeing as we get the last 60 seconds of gameplay.
Okay, this is great. I've never used replay before, so I'm so flustered. Here, we've got the Mel. This is the Mel fight. Okay, look at that. A beautiful fadeaway stun underneath the tower. The Shen sees it. That's what we call an alley-oop, folks, as 2 flashes burn to get that first blood. Worth it in my eyes.
Gotta make sure that this is just set correctly.
I can't believe it was part of the instant replay, guys.
Heck, why is this?
I can't believe it. Oh, no. It says we're looking for a game to capture.
Yeah, this is the wonders of technology.
The wonders, folks, sit back and relapse. Relapse? No.
Relapse.
Wait, don't relapse.
Don't relapse. No, don't relapse.
Wait, no. Relax. Just fucking relax, everybody. God damn it. Holy shit. Just sit back calmly and let your mind
Why
be
is
at
this thing
peace.
fighting me now? This is so annoying.
Hell yeah, this is the LBLCS that I'm used to.
This is going so well, and now it's not. There it goes, finally. Jesus.
Kind of just beautiful stuff. Technology is like alligator that you've got to wrestle for some reason. You know, it's doing a death roll all the time. It's trying to take you down.
Yeah. All right, so I think I know why I didn't display the last one, which is because I hit the wrong
Ah,
button.
we got another hook. Sorry to interrupt, but look at
That's
that.
okay.
Thresh is just nailing these deadly hooks, and Vivi Sal has been so on point. Look at that follow-up. Every play has been coordinated by that bot lane. They are just fully mind-melded.
FEC is really doing a really good job of just kind of running the rift right now, which is really not what we kind of expect, especially in that bot side, because they were doing so well. Eris and 962 were doing a really, really good job of keeping control there, but just some of these plays have not been going their way. They've been kind of over-indexed a little bit in that bot side, getting caught out, and respect to Nick, have been landing those hooks, setting up the damage for the Caitlyn, who just has an easy time to knock it down with the ult.
Yeah, Nick has been nailing it with these hooks, finding so many great angles, and VV Sal has just been there with the damage, so ready, in range to correctly capitalize on the moment. And they're just doing a fantastic job. Are we going into another replay?
We will. It's going to capture what it was seeing in the moment, so we'll see it in just a second, I think, as it goes. We'll see the moment. I just want to make sure that it is, in fact, working. So we'll just, so it's going through the process of what it was seeing in 60 seconds. So yay! All right, replay is working. So we'll get to see that again, exactly how 962 kind of got caught there.
Yeah, okay, so look at this. We're gonna be looking at Nick. Okay, cool, so it gives us 60 seconds.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes on the Thresh, who right now is going down along the bottom of the lane. We should cut to them in a second here. But they're shadowing the minions right here. They see the angle. They know they're going to hit one of these two targets. They toss it out, drop the ult right away. The ignite is ticking down, and after that lands, Caitlyn just drops the ult. She knows that she has it, and just comes at it right away, but we're coming back right into the middle of a fight right here.
Ooh,
That's a
nice
perfectly
double
timed
kill.
Skarnar ult, which saves the Renekton, lets him run away, and now they've got a full health Skarnar who is just able to tank those hits one after another. Hero play from the Skarnar, and a great cleanse down there in the bot lane. Oh, hold on. They're not getting out.
Nope.
They can't just show up here and do this without getting a little bit of pushback. As the Syndra roams up into the top lane, they're gonna get the kill. That's a shutdown right into Syndra's pocket, and I think that's exactly who you want to give that kill to right now.
Yeah, it gets them on the board, gets JP on the board, which is huge. I think Syndra getting that gold, as you highlighted, really, really big to help trying to get her itemization even further ahead as much as possible. But I mean, great series of play. Like that Skarner ult bought them a lot of time because it really did look like it was about to be another kill for the Gnar and for the Shem. But Ema on the mid lane.
Yeah, speaking of another kill, great flash over the wall. Just doesn't let themselves get chained down too long. But now that flash is gone, and Skarnar is in the neighborhood again. You could kind of just run that play back.
You could. I mean, there's some summoners being blown right across the board, and Scourge, Sovereign not having that flash is going to be a big deal, especially if they want to try and make another play towards the mid lane. The only redeeming factor I would think of that is that because we're 13 minutes into the game, we're getting really close to the point where the teams are going to start to break out of the lanes and look to play towards more of these neutral objectives. Already 2 Dragons to FEC just off the backs of them getting a lot of those kills and controlling the bot side. So look to see both these teams start to get a little bit more aggressive towards these neutrals.
Yeah, and when this game opens up, I mean, FEC's got a 5,000 gold lead right now. So definitely, look at the Thresh just over the wall, hunting.
It's so terrifying. It's just, you get hit by anything, any little bit of CC, he's coming over the wall, he's going to flay you back towards the wall. It'll slow you even further. Caitlyn just putting in so much damage, and like headshot damage at this point, with the Collector already completed, plus a BF sword in inventory, it's a lot of, Syndra.
Yeah, Syndra finding themselves in a 2v1.
No,
nice
why
flash right there to dodge one bit of CC, but you're not going to be able to dodge that next one.
Yeah.
Or that ult.
Why flash there? Just take it like a man. You know you're going to die. Don't lose the summoner. I mean, no, but like seriously, you know you're dead. You know that you're flashing to death, and it's not going to matter. But speaking of potentially dying.
Oh, that's a nice arrow onto Vivi Sal, but the lantern was ready. Nick's going to grab another one onto... Oh, Ash trying to walk up around and duel with this Caitlyn, but the damage is just too much. They're going to drop the ult. Oh, no. Totally well-intentioned flash forward to try and save their ADC. Went for the hero play, but we're just slightly out of place there. As that was enough damage to take the Ashe down.
There is a meme. I don't know what it's from, but it is from, there's the actor that plays in the Fast and Furious that I can't remember her name, but she's the female actor. But there's a moment where like she's sitting on the porch in this other movie, and then like one guy goes to block this arrow that's about to hit her in the leg, and then he misses and she still gets shot in the leg. That was that moment right there. Like the Seraphine's like, no, I'm gonna freaking save you, and then just totally overplayed it, and then the Ashe still died.
Yeah, it is. Oh my God.
962. Where did your health
was going in a different direction?
I did
going
too.
Towards the Stinger in the mid lane.
Whoa, dead.
Whoa.
My
Sovereign
goodness.
is on a rampage.
He is 4-0-1 on that Mel. He's having a fantastic time.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, across the board. So this was something I was thinking of as you were discussing how well Nick has been playing. Any skill shot based champion like that, any kind of hook, long range skill shot, the more you hit of it, just the more it compounds that you're going to be in the head of your opponents. That it's like, okay, you are just more dangerous by being on the screen because I've seen you hit 70% of your skill shots, right? Like, I'm just assuming that it is going to go poorly for me at a certain point. You kind of build a reputation for yourself. Good flash from the Ashe right there. Okay, we've got a fight popping off. This is 3v3, a beautiful taunt right there. No Caitlyn ult to follow up, but just the damage. I mean, Horizon, they've caught every person they catch. I feel like, boom, 70% of their health just disappears.
Yeah, they have no control over the map right now, Chance. I mean, it's really, really difficult for them to move anywhere. They're constantly getting caught out. The damage is insane right now from all their damage dealers. Mel and Caitlyn are really, really far ahead of their respective lane partners. I mean, you know, VSound right now is 5-0-1, really close to getting, I think, potentially finishing that Infinity Edge soon, which would be a great second item. So they're in a really, really good spot right now. They're going to collect this third dragon. It's going to put them on Dragon Point. If you're JP, you can't really fight for this. And, I mean, the point that you're making earlier, like, we were talking about the potential execution difficulties for the Thresh, but Nick has just had absolutely no issues. Like, yeah, I'm just going to continue to land hooks, and I'm going to make my champion even more useful. I know that the Seraphine has ease of execution, but that doesn't matter if you're dead.
Yeah, no, truly. I mean, everybody is grouped up here. We're going to have a 5v5 fight, and it's going to pop off right here. The Skarnar is going to go for it. The Shendel's coming in. They're trying to wombo drop everything on. Ashe is actually coming around from the back, fighting with Vivisal in and out. A 2v1 as Thresh turns back, but the front line is just going to get melted as the wallet gets slapped down on the table. That's a triple kill for Sovereign. A massive 7-0-2 KDA as the whole team is going to pivot to this Rift Herald play in the middle of the map.
This wallet diff, Chance, is just so disgusting right now, and you just saw that in real time. Sovereign just looked at three people and said, nah, I don't think so. I think it's your turn to go to the fountain again. And just deleted three people off the face of the map. Like, that turn from them was so good. They're on drag point. They're going to knock down this mid lane turret. The Rift is their oyster. They can really go wherever they want, and at this point, it's going to take a massive misplay from FEC to really allow JP back in this game.
Totally. I will say, though, and you know, we're eternal optimists here at the low budget LCS.
Nope. I'm a doomer. This one's over. Go ahead, 15, boys.
I will say this. With what we did see there for one moment in the very beginning of that fight with the Skarnar ult and how much damage they were able to put down, like, there was something there. They gripped three people and brought them all to half health, and that was with Ashe not being with them either, right? They didn't have their ADC with them. So I'm not saying they're going to immediately start winning. I'm just saying if you misplay, you are misplaying into a team that has a bunch of abilities that are really easy to throw at a misplay and have a huge upside.
Sure, and I see where you're coming from with that one. There is the outplay potential for them. You know, definitely if you have Ashe repositioned in that fight and able to get more towards the backline, hit some of the damage dealers, then there's opportunities for them in that fight. The one concern I have right now, though, is because Ares is so far behind on this Ashe. It's not me. He may not be long for this world.
I don't think he is, really. Gets the double slice and dice and says, hey, actually, I'm totally fine. I'm going to get out of there. On this one, I'm going to get out of there.
But it's a huge tool down. That means he's not going to be able to fight. He's going to get rehooked at the end of this Dominus. He's dead here. Yeah, just as soon. We can't even say it. We can't even say it fast enough. He's off the map.
Absolutely. And Caitlyn just dropping the ult. That's also, I mean, when Caitlyn's are leading these fights with ults, they're just like, I'll throw it away. I mean, that's how you know that they're feeling pretty comfy right now.
That's a great point. Yeah, normally that Caitlyn ult is like outside of someone being super low and you just get to like, get the extra snipe. Like normally it's just a throwaway ult, like you said. Like you just throw in a little extra damage, just try and get somebody low and then have some cleanup later. But like this ult actually just executes people from like almost a third of their health.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. And this is just part of League of Legends. Sometimes someone's gonna go rogue and just be a runaway train on you. So I think kind of what we're looking here is to see, like, can FEC close this out as cleanly as their lead would suggest that they're able to? And on the side of the Jobless Piggies, like, what can you do to disrupt that? And also, what can you learn from this game? Because this is game 1, right? We've still got the rest of the series to play. So right now is the time to put on your thinking cap and start downloading as many lessons as you can.
Well, and there's a lot of questions that they're going to be asking out of this draft, because on paper, we were highlighting that JP's draft was really, really good. Got a lot of, obviously, what for them is going to be comfort, and then just a composition that makes sense across the board in terms of all the CC setup it has, its ability to team fight, its ability to win lanes outside of the top lane, which we were concerned about. You would really be thinking that on paper, that was the winning draft. And so the fact that they have really such deficits across all the board is massively concerning on a draft that they should have been winning in at least the bot lane and probably the mid lane as well, outside of, I'm sure some people have a different opinion on how the Mel matchup should go. Personally, I think it's Syndra favored just because of the other tools that she has. But, the fact that you have no winning lanes and you've really had to concede every objective, you've had to concede Grubs, Herald, 3 Dragons, and the fact that you're kind of getting outclassed on a draft that's supposed to work for you, to me, says you're going to have to go back to the drawing board if you don't, if you're not able to somehow come back in this game and find something else that's going to work, because right now, FEC look really, really good.
No, they certainly do. And I mean, we don't know the backgrounds of all the players here, right? What they are comfortable on, but I mean, Nick on this Thresh has just like really, really stood out, right? Like 12 assists, out of 16 kills, right? That's massive. This Thresh has been all over the map, has been a part of so many really important plays. Just like, yeah, this is a great trap line, and then some traps to boot, just in terms of placement right here.
I love what they're doing. Like, this is really clean League of Legends. I love what they're doing. Oh, the hook nice onto multiple, though.
And they've got the damage right there just to melt through the front line. Really, really, really well done right there. And now they're just going to pivot to the Dragon. They're going to pick up this last piece of the soul that they need. And then, I mean, the numbers say you're strong enough, run right to Baron, grab that Baron, and use that as a tool to pry the base open, because they still have not cracked an inhibitor turret yet, although that mid lane is looking pretty low.
Well, and this is the worst part if you're JPs, knowing that you're going to have to give up this Baron, and it's a really, really strong Caitlyn with the ability to siege plus a tremendous amount of coverage. And the game that I wanted to play here for a second, but I messed up the replay, so I hit the wrong time. But the game that I wanted to play was, let's count how long the Skarner, which is essentially the entirety of JP's front line, lived when he got fully engaged on, and it was probably 2 seconds total after he was hooked was the time that he was alive. And so the fact that for JP, like, you can't even live that long with your best frontliner taking damage is concerning.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, like, that is absolutely indicative of the 14K
14,000
difference here. Yeah, so it's like
massive.
It's massive. And take notes, folks. This is how you're supposed to close out a game. They've done it, I think, really safely too.
Yes.
No one has, I think the credit to the Jobless Piggies here is that there hasn't been much to take advantage of, right? Like, there's been just incredibly conservative, like, placements from FEC, and then they've got the Shen on top of that, right? Like, you're already a little more safe in your positioning.
No, I mean, that's a great point. Like, they've done a really, really good job, FEC has, in terms of making sure there's no opportunities. Really, the only one that you could say has played even really risky would just be their top laner with that Gnar. But every time he's been able to kind of get out, he hasn't really too heavily over-indexed. And so now, this is just a long, painful siege for JP. They're just going to have to kind of slowly succeed these objectives, which is really not what they want to do. But they don't really have a lot of options right now.
No. I mean, you're like, your only chance here is to kind of like lose the base as slowly as you can, right? Make them weave back and forth with this Baron. Try to time it out, and really just try not to pick fights. But it doesn't matter if you're not trying to pick fights because they are trying to pick fights.
Yeah, this is like your little brother or your bigger brother just wailing on you right now, and you're just frustrated, and your arms are too short to reach out and get him back, and he's just absolutely abusing the matchup, and that's what we're seeing right now. And I just I want to highlight this even further. Like, they are playing really, really cleanly right now. They're going to start to walk in this top lane wave. They're going to knock down that structure as well. Like, their health bars are still in a relatively good spot. They're positioning well. They're making sure they're protecting the damage carriers. Like, this is a masterclass in how to close out a game when you have a massive lead like this.
Totally, and actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that one kill that JP does have is from the only overextension that I can remember in this game. Yeah, just again, and look at how tight they're playing this, right? No one's like going up too far. They're actually pulling them into their minion wave. That was a nice flash right there, and they dodged the Skarnar ult as they're now, turning to that Seraphine, melting the Seraphine hook is back up. Gonna stun the Skarnar for a second here, and even the Gnar, who's diving as deep as they possibly can, is not gonna go down from a timely Lantern from Nick right there. And the damage is just massive. The follow-up from the Mel ult after the Caitlyn ult, it's brutal, and FEC has done their homework as they push these waves all the way down to the Piggies Nexus. And that is going to be it. That is going to be game one.
Oh, my goodness. What an opening statement there from the FEC. Just absolutely taking the fight to JP. Really, really well done by them to get a lead. And a draft that we were potentially concerned about a little bit in the beginning. Just well done. Well done by them to come out with a lead. They slammed it in every lane. Like, there was never a moment where we were concerned about anything that was going on in any of those lanes.
No, just a really beautiful game of League of Legends, and very, very well played. Gotta give them their props because they've earned every bit of it. Vanguard has just closed my League client, so I would, if you're in that lobby, I would say, don't wait for me. just fire off.
Let's see if they're taking a short break or anything.
They don't typically.
They don't. Do they just normally just go straight into the second one?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, we gotta wait for. I gotta wait for my casting partner though. I can't leave you behind.
Let's see if this will work. Two days ago, the client closed unexpectedly, citing Vanguard, and there's like, I forget exactly what it is, but like I can't play Valorant because of a Vanguard thing. I don't remember exactly what it is trying to make me do.
You leave the small indie company alone, okay? They're trying their hardest.
I'm bullying. You're right. I'm sorry.
Bullying the indie company.
I'm back. If you can shoot me an invite, I'll hop into that spectator.
So.
Thank you.
Where'd you go? There you are. Game. Block LeChance from League. Never allowed to cast another League of Legends game ever again.
No! Oh, my weakness.
His weakness.
God damn. All right, well, okay. So, the fact of the matter is, Jobless Piggies have another shot at this, right?
Yes. It is not over.
It is not over. And even if shit is going to go sideways, I think it's about taking whatever happens here and bringing it. Oh, nice. And they are. Oh, did I see an animation? Okay, I thought they were doing draft. Nope, okay. Never mind. Just when I click on draft 2, it shows a Shen thing. Anyways, so yeah, I think this is just all about like trying stuff, seeing like what can work here, and what you can like take away. Because I mean, first of all, a little bit of my LBLCS background. I I helped found this league with my friends. I was there in the very beginning. You know, one of this thing is a bunch of ours brainchild. I've never even gotten to playoffs. So I know a little something about losing in the low budget LCS. Oh yeah, dude. Every once in a while we get, and this is not the low budget LCS has become such a awesome and positive community. But there have definitely been some times where we've gotten some messages where people are like, "You just made the low budget LCS so you'd have a place to win," and we're like, "No, look at our record. We're so bad at playing this game." Um, but uh, but our attitude is always like, okay, we're we're here to learn some shit. If we get clonked on the head by somebody who's really good, let's go roaming on their ass. Let's fucking steal everything we can from them, learn every possible strategy, and just, see if we can fold that into our repertoire. And sometimes it worked. We're not the best example. Once again, I have an incredible losing record in this league. Actually, technically, I have ridden the bench. I have been a substitute who's never been called on in a handful of very successful teams. What does that say about me? Well, but yeah, so plenty to learn from that game one. Really curious to see how it folds into game two, and also just like champion pool wise, I'm really curious what people dig out here, because I feel like already FEC feels so iconic on the champions that they just played. I'm super fascinated to see what is in the rest of their repertoire here.
Well, and the one thing I would be concerned about there for the side of JP is the fact that, my read on it was that they definitely drafted for comfort and got a bunch of champions that they're really happy to have and that they have a lot of experience on. And the fact that a comp that they were clearly wanting to get got smashed in game one means you're going to need a full mental reset and go back to the drawing board and find a different way to kind of attack the side of LEC, the LEC right there, or not LEC, but rather, sorry, 4G's FEC. Because, they had complete control of that game for almost the entire of it. They were quietly taking dragons while we were marveling over the fact that they were not able to successfully gank the Gnar over and over again.
You said they were taking their third dragon, and at that was the first moment that we mentioned a dragon.
Yeah, that was the first. They had just been quietly stacking neutral drags. Like, oh, wait a minute, they're already on drag point. That's like that doesn't happen quietly very often. The fact that they were just stacking it like that is bonkers.
Yeah, no, really, really speedy. Macro moves there. Someone you don't know, thank you so much for the resub. You've been subscribed for 77 months, which is crazy. LeChance Lickstones. Yep. We saw the same thing at the same time. Absolutely mental.
I'm sad that the stream chat doesn't show up whenever you're using a stream key like this in Streamlabs desktop. Yeah. It's disappointing. I don't know how to fix that.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know why, because it does show up when I stream on Streamlabs for me.
I wonder if it's because you're signed into the actual account page.
I'm not, though, which
you're
is interesting. I'm not on the on Streamlabs.
Interesting.
So I don't know, but I'm also maybe the worst person that you could ask about this. So no idea why that happens.
I'll have to figure out how to fix that thing because that's kind of annoying. I wish I had.
Someone you don't know says you can do a pop out of the browser Twitch chat.
You could do a pop. How do you do that? What?
That's interesting.
You could do a pop out of the browser Twitch chat in Streamlabs.
It's not great, but it was the best solution I had when I streamed. All right.
Yeah, because normally when I'm streaming, like when I'm streaming on my account, like it's not a problem. But it's like when I'm using the stream key setup that we have for this.
Oh wait, sorry. He's saying from Twitch in your browser. You can like pop it out into a little screen.
I don't want to do that.
Oh, you're too good. You're too good for a little browser pop out, huh?
That's because I got so much stuff on my screens. I'm afraid of clicking anything.
See. Can't look at one more little shiny box.
One of these days, I'm going to post a photo of what this looks like when I run this thing. There's a lot going on back here. There's a million things I'm pressing.
No, I'm sure you're piloting the Starship Enterprise right now.
I'll be honest, half the battle's trying to fight my cat.
Someone you don't know knows about that as well. Scout.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Someone you don't know, I'm getting your cat's name right. Scout will fucking be all over the place.
Yeah, they're constantly like every time there's a task that involves no cats, both my cats involve themselves. And like I appreciate your support, but go away.
Well, they're your managers. They want to make sure you're doing it right.
I guess micromanage, trust but verify.
Okay, it looks like we have gotten an R for draft.
All right, let's R for draft. Let's see if these knuckleheads got anything spicy for us this time.
I'm pumped. Let's get into. Oh, also, casting compliment for Sammy from 28 minutes ago. Easy as pie. You came in here with a Street Side Reporter comment. Just giving us that good extra content and info. Oh, also, Sammy does an interview show in the Low Budget LCS, which I believe a recent episode was just posted on our YouTube channel. Lunar Day has accused me of bathing cats in ketchup, a cruel and unusual activity.
Yeah, you have problems with ketchup.
Vehemently deny.
You have problems with ketchup on certain foods, I hear. We got to talk about this with this whole steak thing.
I am eating more ketchup because of Lunar Day. I think this is an insane psyop by Heinz. They just have got Lunar Day in here talking about ketchup all of the time. I mean, I had ketchup tonight. Although, I did buy a really good ketchup.
What did you have ketchup on?
It was a burger.
All right,
burger and fries.
That's acceptable. I can live with that.
I'm trying to think of the weirdest thing I put ketchup on. Not really any. I mean, pretty much any meat I would put ketchup on.
Even steak?
Does
it have to go on steak?
No. I mean, I have in the past. I haven't in a long time. I mean, this is libel. This is slander from Lunar Day. But also, I've enjoyed ketchup so much in the past. I'm not someone who, I won't fight people really on their condiments. The only thing I'd really fight people on is an insane amount of anything.
Sure, an excessive
too much
amount.
Yeah, even salad dressing. If people are if you're basically eating if it's equivalent to if it's a broth to noodle ratio, but it's that you would find in ramen but in salad, I think that's insane.
Yeah, that would be a little
crazy. Just drink whatever weird condiment you're trying to drink.
Do you put ketchup on eggs?
Yeah. Hell yeah, dog.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, that's really good on eggs.
I've heard that people don't like that or that people get upset about that. I don't know who those people are. I don't know if it's a regional thing that people are upset about somewhere. Yeah, and I don't intend to meet them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know what's up with that. I like honey on eggs too.
I've done that, honey on eggs. Yeah, I like a little bit some nice buttered toast with some eggs and a little bit maybe either some honey or some ketchup on that. It's really good.
Oh,
yeah, it's a nice little breakfast sandwich. I'm a fan of that.
That's delightful, dude. I just learned how to hard boil an egg. Kind of embarrassing. Actually, the last stream I kind of popped on to ask some people about it.
You're one step away from deviled eggs on demand. That's how close you are.
Damn straight, dude. So I've been having my breakfast for the past couple days has just been 2 hard-boiled eggs, a bunch of arugula, and some little cherry tomatoes.
Arugula.
Delicious. Dude, arugula fucking slaps.
I'm an Italian man, so I'm all about spices and herbs and stuff like that. So it's my stuff has extra pizzazz for no fucking reason. It's just stuff on stuff. Like pasta, it looks like half a garden's on there, but it makes it better. I'll tell you what. Let me put you on some secret knowledge. I'm Sicilian. So I'm gonna give you some knowledge, and this is for everybody in Twitch chat, by the way. You can't get this anywhere else except LBLCS. Just so you're aware, you could never get this on the regular
Breaking
LCS.
news.
Breaking news. So if you do spaghetti, if you What I normally do is I like make your sauce and pasta separate, but make your pasta like early in your spaghetti sauce early in the day and like let it sit however you want to do it. But I'm gonna put you on some game. About halfway through the time that you want your spaghetti sauce to cook, after you've been letting it sit, take hard-boiled eggs, peel them, and put them in the spaghetti sauce. It's a Sicilian thing. That hard-boiled egg, if you've ever had like a Scotch egg or anything like that, it's very similar in that it just sits in that spaghetti sauce and it just absorbs all the goodness. Because, the egg doesn't really have any taste all on its own unless you combine it with something or put salt. But you put it in that spaghetti sauce and it is like a magical flavor texture experience, and it will like absolutely shoot your spaghetti experience through the roof. If you don't believe me, try it one time and then I promise you, you will be convinced.
Bro, I'm Italian too. I have never fucking heard of that.
Really?
I have never in my life heard of that.
Oh, it's a Sicilian thing. Yeah, it's a huge Sicilian thing.
We're from northern Italy, so we're on the other end.
Yeah.
God damn, dude.
Yeah, you know it's a problem when people say that, like, oh yeah, our ancestors like escaped from Sicily. Like, well, I don't like the phrasing "escaped" there, so that gives me some concern.
What are you implying here? Yeah, we're so far north that the like region that we're from has like changed hands a couple of times over history.
Is it the bit that France had for a little while? Is that the bits that France had for a little while?
Yeah, we are on that side.
Yep.
Yes. I have a new favorite pasta shape, by the way. Have you or anybody in the chat heard of, and I'm not going to say this right, congigli?
Congigli.
And I'm going to type it in chat.
Yeah, congigli.
Yeah. It's like even more of an elbow, but it's like bigger, it's like wider. Dude, it's so good. I'm a big pesto guy. I'm so sorry we've talked about food through this entire draft. We're gonna get to the league, I swear to good God. But my favorite, I'm a big pesto guy, so I've been doing congili with just pesto and tomatoes and God damn, dude, it's
that
so
sounds good. That sounds good. Does your family, or do you and your family, do y'all do the like the high grade olive oil with like Italian seasoning and bread? Do y'all do that?
So we weren't big cooks.
Okay.
We had a couple of things, but looking back on my childhood, it was definitely like we ate pasta with pesto, we ate salmon, we ate burgers because my sister ended up having ended up being celiac. So just from very early on, she didn't want to eat any pasta. She only wanted to eat hamburger with no buns. Turns out it's because the gluten was killing her.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty much it. It was pretty much those three things. So we never got like the rich Italian cooking tradition. I'm Italian on my dad's side, and he just didn't absorb that shit and pass it down.
Yeah, my household growing up was real dangerous because both my parents knew how to cook. My mom was Irish American on her side of the family, so they really knew how to cook. And then my mom, and then of course my dad Italian, so it was like constantly like there was always really good food in the house, and I was never concerned about dinner as a kid growing up. Like it was always really good stuff, and none of us had any allergies, which was great too. I can't my heart goes out to your sister. Celiac as an Italian, that is so cursed. That is like leading other people to treasure you cannot possess.
Dude, she's pissed about it. She's been pissed. It like so interesting thing about celiac, which is that like as a gene you can have it and then it can just turn on at any random point in your life.
Yeah.
So my mom and my sister have it. My mom got it when she was like 42. And my sister got it when she was like 10.
Wow.
And I have the gene. So
you're just praying that this ticking time bomb never goes off.
Dude, it literally any moment. Really what I think tends to happen is if I got like if I got like Lyme disease or something like that, like there are some things that can sometimes like cascade and just like turn it on.
Oh yeah.
But
so stay out of the woods.
Yeah, dog.
Stay out of the woods.
I'm checking myself.
Don't go
ticks.
Yeah, you're in a hazmat suit on a nature walk.
Totally. But yeah, no allergies for me so
Same.
far. So that's been, I'll eat virtually anything.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Um, it's a blessing to not have allergies, food allergies. I have a friend, she's lactose intolerant, and bless her heart, she's real gung ho about trying to eat what she can, but like she's willing to suffer for ice cream. We told her one time because she was eating ice cream all the time, and she was getting
Totally.
sick, and we're like, hey, like Josh, like you gotta are you okay? Like, you're gonna stop. And she's like, some things are worth dying for. If I die, at least I go out the way I want to go. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
You go, you trooper. That's we're all gonna die, so we might as well choose the way we can go.
I'm sure she's heard of it, but has she tried like using any lactate or anything like that? Or is she just ripping through ice cream?
No lactate,
regard
nothing.
for
She takes it after, and she's just like,
all right, well, that's
it
irresponsible.
Is what she's like. It is what it is. Like, I'm just not gonna kill me. I'm just gonna have a very bad couple hours after this, so might as well.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
that's
she's a
bold
baller.
as fuck.
That's very bold.
So bold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking,
I mean,
oh, go ahead.
oh yes, no,
Yeah.
you're about to transition.
Yeah, I was gonna transition. Speaking of bold,
Nail it.
these drafts were fairly bold. Whoa, these teams
And we're back.
they've drafted some champions. As we were talking about Italian food. If we could play a fun game of who would be Italian out of these drafts, but that's a game we can play later.
We can do that another time.
Noticing
yeah,
that-
if we
Yeah, go ahead.
please, for the love of God,
Yeah.
keep me on
Huge-
task.
Huge difference in draft, I think, already from the Jobless Piggies, who are going to be on the red side this time. Way less emphasis in like sort of the wombo combo CC stuff, and more emphasis on some of the individual capability, like automatically just looking at the Camille, the Kaisa. Important to point out this, that is a Camille support. This is not like the last time where we're going to get bamboozled by a quick little lane swap. No, that is a legit Camille sub, and I have absolutely no idea to feel about that into the rel, which would love for Camille to just run on her.
Here's how I feel. Jobless Piggies are here to have a good fucking time, and nothing will get in the way of that. And I love them for it, and I'm rooting for them, and I love this madness. And I want to see more of it. Jobless Piggies, you've got this. Fucking Camille support all over them. I am ruthlessly on your side for this one.
I mean, this is a hell of a combo, though. I'll be honest. Like, we were talking about some, like, the ability to chain CC. Like, Camille and Devi is really good with the ability to lock down, plus Devi follow up and jacks over the top. The one thing I'm worried about, though, is maybe some of their frontline capability. Like, Galio is going to get shredded by some of these AD champions, like, specifically the Corki in the late game, plus the Viego. And Rumble is going to give them a lot of team fight capability, as long as it's aimed right, which, by the way, is, like, something we should circle back to later as a caveat. But Rumble really affected this champion, with the exception of the Galio, who will do a good job of tanking it. The Aurora in the mid lane as well will be somewhat limited by the inability to just keep the Galio down. But, I mean, I think both teams, again, got a draft that they like. I love both these comps because there's definitely win conditions for both of them.
Yeah. I mean, like, no, I think very valid points there. I think the Jobless Piggies draft to me just screams like this Jobless Piggies composition is like the equivalent of like, I just witnessed a bar fight. Yeah. I saw someone get punched very hard in the face. I'm confident they're dead. They've been on the ground. I haven't seen them take a breath in 3 minutes. The winner of the fight turns around and is about to walk out of the bar, and off in the distance, their corpse rises. Yeah. They've smashed a bottle on their head, and now they are roaring and charging for you. That's 4 divers, or 4 people that can dive, right? Kaisa's got that ult. Why not go forward with it? And a Galio, right? They are bringing the party to your front door. These guys have got style, and they've got fucking energy, and they are bringing it to this game right now.
If I had to describe that draft, this is, to quote a certain caster in Formula One who I love, Crofty, this is lights out and away we go. They have only one direction, and that is forward. That is pedal to the metal. They want to lock somebody down. They want to kill them. And the difficulty with that, though, I have to say, is the fact that they have really good damage threats here for the side of FEC. Like Rumble, Viego, Aurora, Corki, those champions, they do a lot of damage. So even if you kill one person, you're going to have to kill multiple people. And versus, the side there for Jobless Piggies, a lot of their damage is locked up in that Kaisa and in that Jax. Camille's not going to be a damage threat because she is a support. And Galio never really does quite a lot of damage. He chunks you out a little bit, but it's not consistent. So it's definitely going to be an execution difference of like, can FEC Can they do a really good job at executing their composition, avoid getting wombo comboed to some of their members and making sure they can win a prolonged team fight, versus can Jobless Piggies, can they execute on the ease of execution in their comp, lock down certain members, win those fights, zone FEC out, and just gain control of the map, because it is going to take a little while for them to come online. They don't have a lot of early damage.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point about that early damage, and there is a little bit of thought that has to go into that. I'm curious. I think jungle's going to be huge.
Did you start
right?
the Gamba? Did you start the Gamba for the lovely?
Oh, I did start the Gamba.
Excellent,
folks. You got
Take
2 minutes and 25 seconds. Get on out there. Bet those channel points. Bet those schmeckles. Make sure you feel alive tonight. If you are new to this channel, we do a prediction every single match, so that you can feel the thrill of your blood rushing through your body as you.
Nobody's ever lost either.
No one's ever lost.
No one's ever lost channel points in LEC and the low budget LCS. Not one.
No.
You can't find any person in chat. And if you do, they're a liar, and we'll have the mods ban them, because that's slander.
Exactly.
But we don't tolerate that here. No one loses here.
We don't tolerate fibbing.
Absolutely not.
Jesus.
We are reputable
no, we
men. We are reputable, okay? This is our Christian Minecraft server, low budget LCS cast, and we will to heck anybody that slanders the LBLCS good name, okay? So go on out there, gamble your hearts. Yeah, so go out there and gamble your hearts out with those channel points. And I don't know, maybe we should have, at one point, we should have a competition for who wins the most channel points betting.
Dude, all right. I mean, in an ideal world, yes. We have tried so many times. Okay, Twitch, absolutely. At one point in time, there was a rumor that there was a way to have a leaderboard that they were going to institute, which they just never did, and I'm so furious about it. But we would love to have like a side thing where just everybody, whoever has the most channel points, we want to honor that person.
Yeah, have a leaderboard. That'd be fun.
Right.
Just to see who's the most gutsy, and like who had like, it'd be fun like if there was a way to track like the market trades of like people that like were betting and what their bet was, and I don't know, something fun.
Language.
Yeah, that would just be so much fun. It would require a lot of work, but just little fun things that you could think about. Speaking of fun things, Speaking of fun things to think about, 962 on this Camille. It's fun to think about what this champion could possibly do, but then also if you're thinking about like the ways it could go horribly wrong, it's potentially a little bit worrying.
Oh, I mean, I have, I'm simply made of worries, but also, I don't care. I think they're gonna have a blast, even if it goes horribly. I really do think that they're just gonna have a good time, and if you're gonna go down
swinging
forward.
Yeah, go down swinging.
Exactly. Go down swinging.
Yeah. I mean, and nothing else. Like, even if let's give it like a realistic, expectation here. If they can get some sort of threat with this Camille, as the season goes on, if they win a game with this Camille support, they're gonna go ahead and go in on top of Nickrak.
Oh, I like that. Look at that damage coming through. Look at that damage coming through. Where are the doubters now? Where are the haters? Come on, Jobless Piggies.
I'm gonna go take a back seat because I didn't think that 962 was gonna be doing a whole lot of damage on support Camille. I am so sorry if you watch this later. I should never have doubted you. If you bet, I hope you bet on the Jobless Piggies, because holy Christ on a stick, that was a lot of damage.
That was a lot of damage, and I'm just gonna live in the moment right here. There's still a lot of ways this could go, but that was a blast to watch right there. Oh goddamn, he deals a lot of damage right there.
Yeah. All right, I'm sorry.
We got proof of concept.
I'm sorry, 962. I apologize. I wasn't familiar with your game. And back to the point I was making too, because I was gonna be like, all right, let's give it like an off chance. Like, let's say they get something done with this, like that gives you some kind of extended draft threat later on into the season. Like, oh yeah, remember that one time the 962 played Camille and it was a support and it was actually good. Like, maybe that's some value you get out of it. But yeah, that's not gonna be a far-fetched thing anymore, as he just like stole half of Nickrak's health bar in just one combo.
What we saw in game one was how okay, was not quite able to connect there.
He's in a bad spot.
Rumble, yeah, takes a little risky way back. We might be seeing a flash burn right here. We're just waiting for cooldowns to come through. That's going to be a nice flash into the bush. Tries to be sneaky with it. They're going to be seen. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, they're turning. They're turning. No. Jobless Piggies not able to make it over the wall right there.
No.
Oh, wait, he jumps to his friend. You got to keep running. Good flash. Come on, Vi. Yeah, okay. All right, you burned 2 flashes. Okay, listen. I think Jobless Piggies have a lot of potential. There are some things they need to work on, right? They should have pulled off a little bit earlier there. I understand why there was more chase. What's up, Faux Poppy? Yo, I almost had pho for dinner. I didn't. I had pho last night. Anyways, we're not talking about food anymore. I'm sorry.
I know. Well, I was gonna chastise Expert for not blowing that flash earlier. Like, if you're just gonna try to bait that out and get over the wall, then like you should just be flashing earlier so that way you're not losing so much in lane. But like credit where credit's due. Like, he extended that long enough where Sovereign was able to push out the lane and walk up. And in return for that, they got the flash off the top laner and the jungler. So that helps them out bot lane massively. Now you don't have to worry about Vi Flash getting an engage onto either of those members, especially with 962 putting pressure. So like if you're looking at where that kind of pressure exerts itself across the map, it's not a bad trade for Expert, and he's still up in CS.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, Aurora's just been playing very, very well so far in the game. Sorry, my attention's a little bit split here.
Someone's got to talk to chat.
Oh, 962 going in to get the double knock up. Oh, I mean, okay, this is something that that they're gonna have to work on. I love this bot lane, and I hope they keep practicing it, because I think the whole key to this bot lane for the Jobless Piggies is understanding the range at which Camille can engage and what your ADC can do to follow up. Because if they're going too far, Kai'Sa can only really hit people with their W until they've got the ult to dive in. But boy, am I excited for level 6.
Well, now see, level 6 is where I would be concerned for 962 though, because once Nickrak has access to that Magna Storm, that makes that engage really, really hard. Even if you are popping the ult as Camille, it can become a little bit of a one-way trip because of the amount of survivability that Rel gets. And as long as he's buying space for Corki, like that's job done. I will say though that because of the backing timing and the fact that they have pressure in that lane, they were able to get the reset. So this should just be the Dragon going towards them, especially now because FEC is only just not getting the recall off.
Totally. And Horizon, let's be real. All trips are a one-way trip if you are just a little bit too committed.
Yeah, if you're not a coward.
Exactly, if you're not a coward. And I don't think Jobless Piggies are cowards.
No,
I'm not seeing any cowardice here. And they've got a dragon, which reminds me of something I thought I was going to say 3 minutes ago, which is that
I lost the game.
FEC, what we learned from game 1 is how well they are able to close a game out. This is a good team, right? They do not make many mistakes. They have a really, really good understanding of the fundamentals here. So once they start to get ahead, that's a real serious problem. So this early game is so important. It's going to be so impactful here. But Jobless Piggy is able to grab that first dragon. So no matter what, we're not going to see what we saw last game.
No, we're not. And this is where I think things become a little bit interesting from the side of watching FEC is, okay, you know, you had a really, really conclusive lead all the Nickrak, though, taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, absolutely. One more auto would have popped that Kai'Sa passive there. But
the one thing I want to see from them is, you know, they had a fairly early lead in the last game, and they kind of maintained that and built upon it the entire game. So now what I want to see from them is, okay, you have a little bit more of a skill draft to execute the same way that you did this one. Although I think this draft requires just a little bit more skill to execute just the champions that they have. So show me what you can do without having a lead. Show me how you can navigate the early game and start to build incremental leads and find ways to win team fights when you don't have lots of gold already in your pocket.
Totally. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm trying to remember what minute mark things started to fall off the rails in game 1. Because I actually don't think that it was super early. I think it took a little bit of time to heat up, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
Well, I know by 13 minutes the game was in a rough state for JP, but that obviously I guess you wouldn't necessarily call that super early game. That you're getting towards the mid game at that point.
Right.
But I mean, still, having the lead at all. I mean, it's, you know, this is kind of this moniker in League where we say, you know, any team can win with a lead. Sometimes it's not true. Sometimes you could be a team who I will not mention in the LEC who somehow managed to find a way to lose a game that was unlosable.
Hell yeah.
But most teams, you have the capability to win for the lead. Most teams know what to do when they're at that point. As the gank's going to come down on the bot side.
Yeah, absolutely. And Vi taking the pain train all the way under turret, though. Little bit too far. That's first blood. Going to Rel at the very least.
Oh, no.
Oh, we're not done because 962 is not able to connect with that dash there, and that's a double kill for the Rel. Rel carry coming through.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was highlighting earlier, is that one-way trip ticket that sometimes it can be for Camille. You know, you're expecting to get quite a bit of damage done as the weird thing going to come out for Sovereign. He should be able to get underneath this turret. Should be okay. But that damage that we were talking about, though. Oh, Rel's here.
Oh, going back in right there. Tried to get the kill, but Rel once again coming up here. Whoa! Oh, a good turn. Burning the flash, and a third kill for the Rel. Rel carry. Fucking put your seatbelts on.
Oh, see, this we were just highlighting, JP, how well they were doing in this early game, making sure that they were getting some incremental leads, doing a good job of applying pressure across the map, and then one bad play in the bot lane just turns it right back on its head. Now we're 9 minutes in the game. It's already a 2,500 gold lead, and you know, as we're going to get into this replay, we're going to see exactly how bad that went down in that bot side. As you saw in the mid lane, Sovereign was pushing out the Galio, as we'll get down to that bot side. But you're going to see how long JP is actually kind of hovering in this bot side. They're waiting for that play to slowly develop, as eventually we will get down there. Again, 60 seconds gives you actually kind of a long replay, as eventually we'll see them.
A minute is always longer than people think it is.
It's always longer than people think it is. But you see in that bot side, they're already starting to get position aggressive. You see on the mini-map, where Calm is already starting to move there. They're waiting for this play. They know they want to play aggressively, but look at the levels for VSAL and for Nick. They have level 6, so as long as they're getting close to the tower, they're never really any danger here, and this is when it should have been called off, but instead goes underneath the turret. 962 tries to follow up, but it's a horrific play because TV is able to, Billup is able to get there. 962 misses the connection onto the wall, and it's just an instant kill there, too, going the way of FEC. The top side, Expert, was trying to get the kill on top of the Jackson, just barely missed out.
Yeah, good on the Jax for being able to escape. No, totally. I think like even before the Vi ult was used, they should have pulled off there. Also on different targets as well. I think in an ideal world, I want to see Jobless Piggies dumping all of their ults onto one person and removing them from this plane of existence as quickly as possible.
Yeah. I think, sorry, go ahead.
No, that was it. I just have a bad habit of saying at the end of my sentences.
That's okay. The one thing I think is going to be continually difficult for Jobless Piggies is trying to get onto VSAL. As long as Nick is standing right next to him, it's really, really difficult to buy the space you need to do the damage to the Corki. They need to be careful here, though. This is an odd number fight. 962 going back in. Diego waiting in the wings.
Not able to connect with that knock-up, so he's going to drop his ult and pull people in another direction. VVSal is going to get that kill, and we're starting to see some of the same patterns from game one as VVSal and Nick are, just being huge players in the bot lane.
It's 1-0-2 on that Corki. It's a shame that the Rel walked away with 3 of those kills. You would have loved to see that gold going to the Corki, but I mean, it's not like it's the worst investment of gold, especially with the changes where support gold hasn't been so heavily nerfed now. So you can actually kind of start to be fairly efficient with some of that itemization, as they're getting really aggressive with this jungle.
Yeah, totally. Listen, Nick played great in game one. Give him 3 kills. Watch him carry on this Rel. It's what the people want. You know what? No more gold on ADCs. They had their time in the sun. As a support player, they should be allowed to be. Oh, too many turret shots there. That was so close. That was really close. Oh my God, Jax is really thinking about this.
Oh, but Sovereign's roaming.
Oh, very nice. Now this is what you want. This is what we saw a little bit of. Oh, you gotta back up. You gotta be careful. I feel like he's still got ult. He does. Oh, but he's gonna drop it on himself. He's gonna make Vi pay for this because he's got reinforcements coming up as well. And they actually trade 1 for 1 up there in the top lane. And Jax wisely backing off.
Yeah, good ultimate placement there. They was potentially going to try and look for the Jax there to see if maybe they could burst him down. But I think Rumble always going to be dying in that place, so you're just trying to see if you can trade 1 for 1. And the gold going on to the Aurora, not the worst place. Uh-oh.
No, not at all. I like what 962 did there for a second. Obviously, they're going to take a bunch of damage here. Grab that Ignite as
Galio?
well. Ooh,
why are you up
here? Top lane.
What are you doing?
Galio is a little bit
he's very
out of depths as he's going to get picked up by the Aurora and the Viego as well.
What was he looking for up there? There was no play. There was nobody out of position. I guess maybe the only thing I think is
maybe matching Aurora for a minute.
But Aurora wasn't up there, so I'm not sure why they decided to stay.
Maybe I'm hallucinating. I thought they were.
Well, they were, but it wasn't like they were going to make a play. They were just farming. And
No.
They just sets it up for the Viego to get a kill. I think just kind of overextended there for no reason.
You know, the Rift's a nice place. Sometimes you just want to take a little walk. You know? See the rivers, see the top lane. Who can say?
It's free real estate.
Yeah, the FEC is looking pretty good here. You said at about 13 minutes it was looking pretty rough in game one. I think it's
5K
actually there it is, exactly. I think it's a pretty similar. Okay, 962 all the way up here in the top lane. That's the Rumble ult that's being dropped. Can they win the 2v1? It does not look like it is. Expert now has 962 on the run with the flame spitter cut to the mid lane. We've got a fight popping off here as that Viego look low. They are not going to go down. And to the bot lane, we're going all the way across the rift to our third fight in the last like 10 seconds. Kaisa will make it out of there. But all in all, I'd say across the map, that really went the way of FEC.
Yeah, they're just winning across 3 lanes. Galio might just be dead here. Gio's going to try and get out. Yeah, that's just going to be the ult committed there. Manages to live just because the rebound saved him from getting hit by any of their abilities.
Yes.
But yeah,
FEC,
really yeah, they're absolutely control of this game right now. This seems like a tired phrase that we keep saying, but I mean, they really are. And now if you're looking at JP, like this is just as bad as a position as they were in game 1. And now you start to have to play the game of like, all right, what are we going to have to be willing to give up to stall this game, to give our carries time to get strong? Like, you know, what are we willing to give up in order to give Kaisa time and in order to give Jax time to scale? But, I mean, right now they're significantly behind. The worst is in that top side, 2-1-1 for Expert Killer. You know, on that Rumble, already has the completed Leandries. You know, Jax is a while away. Not sure. I guess it's going to be for what's the new combat item? Dawn and Day. No, not Dawn and Day. Dadgummit, I'm forgetting the name.
Dag Nabbit. Dag Nabbit.
The I'm forgetting the name of the new item. The new.
Horizon. I can't help you with this at all.
I'm forgetting. This is embarrassing.
Chat. No, it's not embarrassing. Chat. What's the thing he's thinking of?
Okay.
I know one of you knows it.
Okay, where are you? What's the name of that item? Uh-oh.
Galio's got friends. Everybody coming to the mid lane. This is a party at 2v1, but there's a lot of damage on the side of FEC, but they're going to get some vengeance as a shutdown goes into the pocket of Eye.
Yeah,
Dusk and Dawn.
Dusk and Dawn, that's what it was. Dusk and Dawn. So he's probably building that Dusk and Dawn. I don't know if I agree with that as the first item on Jax. It's not the worst, but I don't know. Maybe a Triforce or something might have been better. We'll see. But I mean, yeah, they definitely needed to get that. Oh, it was the recall wasn't stopped.
That was so ballsy.
Yeah, they needed to get that kill to keep themselves at least in the possibility to get a contention. But it's the 6,000 gold lead. The next dragon is going to be going the way of FEC, even despite the kill in that mid lane. It's still a gold lead in the mid lane. The only one that even has a margin of a lead, if you can even call that, is JP. Or for JP is just their ADC, who is like really close to dying right now. Vi's here though, forces out the flash.
Yeah, forces out the flash. Does not go further than that, which I think is a pretty good read right there. And I do think that this dragon is just gonna have to be turned over to FEC, because they have got a lot of strength right now, and I'm not 100. I think, you know, what happened in the mid lane needs to happen in some other places if you're Jobless Piggies. But you've got the abilities. Even if you're behind in gold, you've got enough CC, but you can't. Gonna be honest, probably can't even take a even numbers fight right now.
All right, Chance. Let's because I like where you're going with this. So let's put on our hopeful hat. Let's put on our optimism thinking cap. Let's see how JP. What does JP need to do to get back in this game? Because the lane states right now really not favored. They're already losing towers. They're getting kind of pushed in lanes. They're having to give up neutral objectives. But what can they do to slowly, incrementally get themselves back into it?
Absolutely. And listen, Horizon, I think this is a great question. I've got one word for you, and that's violence. I think that actually, if I'm Jobless Piggies and I'm having a grand old time with my buddies playing League, I'm going to say, let's pick one person and let's
kick
the shit out of them.
Let's talk about this Rumble.
Rumble's a pretty scary person to try and kick the
there's a
shit out of, though,
teleport.
but I like that they flashed off of the ult. They might actually be able to take him down, and yes, they do! Now you need to get the hell out of Dodge! Because you've got this Aurora, and that little bunny rabbit is going to take one with him. Oh, I see it. I see a teleport going up. Okay, so that. They need to do that
Violence.
over and over and over again. The problem is, FEC is a really good team, and once they catch Wise, they're not going to be alone. So you've got about 180 seconds to start making a couple of these plays. Yeah, I do smell some more violence here. Galio is also hundo percent.
Yeah. Let's count. 1,
maybe gonna, well,
2,
definitely gonna die.
3,
Question is,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, he lasted for 9 seconds. All right, that's longer than
that was
anybody
a
in the
long
top.
time.
That's a long time compared to the last game because everyone was just dead in 2 seconds in the last game. So hey, we take the wins, incremental wins.
Absolutely. I think you try to go for the ult out of there.
I agree.
Oh,
Find somewhere else to ult it because they don't have enough stun. I think like after they use the initial tools, you can still ult out. I think.
Yeah.
But also, is it worth it at that point? It's like, you know, listen, we've established die like men. You know what? Don't take the easy road out.
That's true. I will say, I do just love being Galio and ulting because of the vision shift. It's just very pleasing to do. Okay, Nick up here, tied for the most kills on his team right here. Nick going for the ADC.
Nice Magnet Storm.
Okay, that's the ult being used, but here's the Galio save, knocking Nick up, and they're going to take Nick out, and this is what I'm talking about, baby.
Yep, there it is.
You've got the ability, you've got the capacity for violence, and you need to lean into it. Lean into your worst instincts, because I think that Jobless Piggies just need to do what they've been doing, but to one person. They're trying to do it to 2 people. They're trying to do it with 3 people. I think the way you encourage yourself to even play safer in some instincts is to remind yourself, don't commit violence alone. Commit it with friends. And here we've got a friend. Now you have permission to commit violence. Problem is, this Rumble's really strong and super dangerous. And
he might be the most
multiple
violent.
friends. Uh-oh. The birthday party is too big. The birthday party is too big.
Oh, no. Too many people got the invitation.
Okay. Now you just gotta run.
Mom, I want to go home.
Mom, I want to go home. Pick me up. Say that.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh,
That's.
Children of Virtuarize. The party guests are being slain.
Yes, they are. Yeah, this metaphor can only go so far. But so like I think it like in that kind of instance right there, but I think Rumble's kind of the wrong target. I think you can do that to actually kind of almost anybody else on the team. Hello.
Ares,
no, too deep, little too deep.
Oh no!
Oh, Ares. Oh,
You hate to see
the
it.
God of War. Truly out there swinging some swings.
I respect the attempt. I see the goal, what they're trying to go. They're just trying to up the tempo and look for these individual fights. But like you talked about, they should be finding it on one person and not multiple. And every time they're trying, that's just going against them. They tried to look for it on the Rumble there for a moment, but just, yeah, I mean, that ultimate does so much damage. You're in a prolonged fight with a person that absolutely craves violence, like we've been talking about. And now, look, now he's on the top side. He's getting that turret too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, there is a method to the madness here for the Piggies, but they might have to go back to the drawing board. I hope they do, because I want to see more of this, quite frankly.
Yes.
Okay, Baron is up. FEC, once again, in a very, very strong position here. Do we think that... Oh, wait, yes, Baron is up, right?
Yeah, it's up.
Yeah.
They're the only. I mean, they're in the position to take it. I mean, ideally, if you're JP, you want to try and see if you can get towards that pit. Maybe try and slow it down, see if you can trade for something across the map. But the problem is wherever FEC goes, that's kind of where they have to go as well, because now they're forced to kind of fight for these objectives. It's not drag point, but they are fighting for it now. So it's like you can't really afford to give up Dragon, you can't really afford to give up Baron. So they need to try and fight a good fight here.
Absolutely. And we've got people grouping. Here we go. I do think that's the right target. They've got the damage. That's a shutdown. Now they need to get out of this alive. Galio coming through, but that ult is going to get disrupted right now. Such low health bars. The Diego dives in. Going to get a kill right there. Camille forced to go on the run as the fight line scatter. They got a kill, 2 kills out of this, but it is going to cost them 3. Optimistically. Yes,
962 gets away.
But imagine a safer early game from the Jobless Piggies. They get to this point, and then they just turn the gas on like this. Like, it's clearly there. The fact that they were able to get 2 kills down 9K, like...
Well, it's there for them. Well, and I mean, great timing for them. I mean, they caught FEC on rotation. They weren't grouped together, so they didn't have the ability to fully protect the Corki. In the beginning, it looks like potentially a little bit of an overextension, but they're able to get him close to the tower and not under it, which is a huge deal. But then, why we were talking about earlier in the draft, like the damage threats from the side of FEC, just because you get the Corki doesn't mean job done. You still have the Aurora to deal with, you still have the Rumble to deal with, still have the Viego to deal with, and that's what we saw at the end of it, was they did a good enough job of getting those health bars low, where Billup was able to just come in the backside and clean that up, and now they can potentially look for this dragon, or sorry, look for this Baron. They collected the dragon on the back of that play. They're in a really good spot right now.
Yeah, absolutely. In such a strong position, and it really is just about closing it out here. They're thinking about it. They're thinking about it for sure.
Yeah. They only need a couple people to do this Baron for the side of FEC, and they actually don't care about getting caught doing it because their turn is so good. Like if you're JP, like you're trying to fight in the middle of a Viego, a Rumble, and an Aurora, that is like asking for trouble trying to go into a narrow choke point. So they really, if they want to have any chance to contest this Baron, they need to somehow muscle their way into this river, fight for vision, and then be the ones to start the fight. They do not want to get engaged on by FEC.
No, they absolutely don't. And I mean, like, yeah, they might not be mad about them starting this Baron because I think you're right. FEC has an incredible turn, but I also think that, you can't get caught here. You can't get caught here. You got to get over the wall. Oh, you went the long way, but you almost made it out. Good instincts right there. Oh, this is rough. What's the cooldown? They picked them. Okay, they got the Camille. Now there's backups here.
Yeah, they just need to leave.
Friends, I don't think you can go in. Yeah, no. I think you got to get out of there.
There's nothing for them. Once the Camille goes down, like, yes, some resources invested to get the Camille, but also, like, that's a major part of their engage down, so now really you're looking at the Vi and the Jax to try and get lucky. There's no reason they can test for this. Just go back to base, try and shove out waves. You know, the Calm, I think, could try and potentially try and steal over the wall, but they're going to keep him tracked the whole time.
Totally. And I know, let's see what happens here. This is the channel. He's going to have to turn the Rumble. Just a great choice for harassment. A good pick to just push them off and maybe just get the kill. Smart turn. I think you were going to die otherwise. You probably still will go down. And yeah, they just don't have the damage that... You know, I understand why Camille was in that neck of the woods. Your support, you're looking to ward, but I think in that moment, you want to rely on, like, a blue trinket or something. You got to go. You got one shot in the chamber at this. You gotta be careful with it.
Well, and as soon as experts started walking at him too, making sure that they had that Vi on vision, there was really no way to get in the pit because they would just stop damage in that instance and then just turn on the Vi. And so the fact that he was putting his body physically in between the jungler and the Baron was a really good call. And this goes back to what we were talking about in the first game too, of like their ability to make these smart calls, not overextend, and to do exactly what they need to do to prevent Jobless Piggies from getting in. We're seeing that in game 2 now. The exact same calls. They're being disciplined. They're not overextending. They're being very careful about where they're positioning now. There's been some sloppy moments in this game that we didn't see in the first one, but overall, it's been clean. And so now it's on to them to make the most use of this Baron and break open the space.
Yeah, and they've got a good split right here. I like the 4-1. Yeah, all right. He's going to pull Galio out. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Can Galio do this?
Yeah, he walked back into the stun.
Excuse me. I mean, they definitely still lose the structures in the mid lane. But I was not ready for the 05 and 4 Galio to be that disruptive, but that's just when you have good abilities, they're going to be good kind of all the time.
Well, that's on Sovereign, too. Made a mistake and walking back into that Galio stun. Maybe it had thought that it was going to expire sooner than it was, or that he would just cut it, but didn't and got caught in it. And then, that follow-up burst damage, like we said, like that Galio damage is not going to be the main reason you die, but it will set you up for other people after the burst is down. But they may be returning the favor here.
Yeah, they certainly have the capacity to. We'll see if they can connect anything. Galio playing fast and loose, baby. That dash away where you have to get a little bit closer to the person you're trying to run away from.
They're trying to do the same thing again.
Yeah, absolutely. Going on to this Rumble, and they are going to dump everything onto one person, and that's exactly the way that they should be playing their comp. That right there is exactly how they should be playing their comp basically the entire time after they hit level 6.
Yeah, he's going to be dead for the next 40 seconds, so a potential for JP to try and run out and get vision knowing that the Rumble's dead and they won't be contested in some of those larger areas, but they got to move right now because FEC, they see the play, they know exactly what's happening, so they're trying to run it as well to establish their vision, and I still don't know how I feel, like, given what they've just invested to try and kill that Rumble, some of that stuff's going to be on cooldown, and so, I mean, it's a question of if you're the Jobless Piggies, do you favor yourself in a 4v5 right now, even though you know that the Rumble's dead? We'll have teleport to be able to get out here. Did just finish the Bloodletter's Curse, so he's going to be doing a tremendous amount of damage. Flash forward, though.
Yeah, absolutely. This fight is going to pop off right here as everyone is going to dive in with the smack back. The damage is incredible. Pouring out of FEC as a triple kill for the Corki comes through. An absolute massive turn there. I mean, you called it, Horizon.
Yeah, that answers my question.
You talked about the turn, and that might be the game.
Yeah, that just answered the question that I was trying to ask, was do you favor yourself in a 5v4 against FEC? And the answer was they favor themselves. They made a calculation, but goddamn are they bad at math, because that turned so quickly. That was a huge Magnet Storm by Nick to stun multiple people and set up the damage for Corki for Sovereign. The health bars just got deleted, and so will this Nexus. And FEC, they're going to get themselves a clean 2-0 over Jobless Piggies.
Absolutely. What a showing here by FEC. Really making a case for how the rest of their season is going to go. I believe this now puts them at 2-1. They wanted that win. I'm also now curious what team took them down, because that was some clean League of Legends we just saw from them.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that another team has beat them in that form. It had to have been a hell of a series that we just didn't get to see. I would love to be able to talk to those guys and find out what went wrong in that potential first, or really that first loss, and when they got that. But, I mean, just huge performance from them. Standout players, I mean, you're going to have a really hard time picking a player of the game. I mean, every person on this roster stepped up at multiple points through both the series. Like, Nick was a huge part of it. So was Beauty Sal.
Totally.
So was Liquid Killers. So was Billabang.
Okay, who's your player of the game?
My player of the game has to be Nick, just because of what he got done in both those games. Standout performance on the Thresh, standout performance on the Rel, countered everything a lot. Well, not to say everything, but a lot of what Jobless Piggies wanted to do. And I think, like, credit where credit's due to the damage dealers and the carries there from the side of FEC. But I mean, Nick just had a standout performance both times.
Yeah, baby, I gotta agree with you on that one. I think Nick played just so well and just made such an impression, just starting on that Thresh, hitting all those hooks, and then, come on, you start out game 2, 3 kills up on your whole team. First three kills go to you on the Rel. I mean, what a moment.
Let's look at this damage. For giggles, I want to see.
Yeah.
That is, look at the damage in just such a short game. It's a 29-minute game, and Rumble's doing 28,000. And then Aurora also doing 28,000. This is so much damage.
Yeah. That's, those are some charts there. I do want to tip my hat, though, to the Jobless Piggies. This was a very fun series to watch, and I do think that there's something there, especially in that second draft. They seem very natural with aggressive plays, and I think I just keep cracking on with it, guys. There's something there. I want to see it. I want to see the full evolution.
Yeah, there's plenty of potential there if they can start to iron out some of their draft difficulties. Really 2 drafts that you would have thought would have been very good, especially that first one. Just an execution thing, a misplay in some areas, and then they just kind of got poked out in some of the lanes where skill was a huge factor there. But plenty of potential. I'd love to see them potentially make another comeback in the next game, the next series that they play. Try and straighten some things up, because there's plenty to take away that's good. Like, you have the ability to push advantages. You have the tempo. They're very aggressive. That can be a huge boon for you, but you have to temper it in some ways. And so I think if they can make some of those adjustments both in game and in draft, we could see them, being a contender here in the next couple of weeks.
Totally. Do you have time for a quick interview?
Absolutely, I have time for an interview. It's a Thursday. I'm taking tomorrow off. I got all the time in the world.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm going to be quick and dirty with this one because I got to go to bed. I've got an early day tomorrow. The opposite, I know.
Boo this man.
I don't care about your boos. I've seen what you cheer for. For sports, want an
Who we
interview? Just let us know who to bring up.
Give me the support. Give me Nick. Give me that guy.
I mean, we could. I always Okay, Sovereign wants to come up.
All
We're grabbing
right,
Sovereign,
fine. I
baby.
guess we'll
No,
settle for
no,
the mid
no, no,
laner.
no. All right, hold on. I gotta bring them one channel at a time. Okay, all right. Welcoming you. Welcome to the desk.
One channel
Having
at a
been
time.
pulled through like 4 different voice channels, the mid laner of FEC Sovereign. Congratulations on the win.
Thanks so much. It was fun.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna start off.
Go for it.
Incredible series here. We had you on the Syndra. We had you on the
Mel.
Aurora.
Yeah,
Oh, on the Mel.
Melror.
I'm wrong. That's right. The terrifying Mel that was killing people
Somebody
the
clip
screen
that.
away.
Somebody clip that he said
We
that.
were
Somebody
like,
clip it
what
right
the
now.
fuck's going on? Okay, I want to ask you guys the macro question. What are the comms like? We just noticed from a top-down view how cleanly you guys were closing out these games, and especially in game 1, we just saw like virtually no weaknesses in how you guys were moving around the map. Are you guys scrimming a ton? Is this thoughtful, or are you just all people who've played League long enough that you know where you need to be and when?
No, honestly, we aren't scrimming nearly as much as we probably all talk that we want to.
Hmm.
The game that we played for last week, we ended up playing on Sunday, and it was a super close, like 3-game set, and we were convinced we should have probably won that. So one of the things we talked about going into today was that we wanted to be more vocal in what people were thinking. So, not everyone's going to have the exact same, mental idea on what we want to do. But as long as we're talking about, hey, this is what I want to look for, is everyone else on the same page? Yes, no. And trying to have those conversations quickly so we can push the game forward, especially in that position that we were in, I think was cognizant in everyone's mind, and evidently showed up in a very confident game 1.
One of the things I wanted to ask you, and one of the things that we highlighted on the broadcast, was the 2 drafts that you guys went for, where you were in the game 1, you were facing a draft that on paper was theoretically superior to you guys in terms of some of the lane capabilities that it had. Obviously, the Ashe Seraphine combo was a notorious combo at this point, and then the ability to sort of sustain through some of the jungle presence with the Skarner versus the Shen. But you guys piloted 2 comps in 2 games that were high skill execution comps, I mean, nearly to perfection. So walk me through what that mentality is for you guys when you're going through draft. Like, is it just a confidence that you guys have because you've been playing with each other, or are you coming in there with some pretty set draft ideas?
So we were discussing quite heavily, actually, just before draft, all the different things that we kind of wanted to go through. So there's different things for priority, what we thought they were going to take, uh, different variations of that. The Renekton was super left field. It wasn't anything that we expected through the first 3. So um, in that sense, it kind of changed game plan quite heavily. We still had what we wanted to prio, and then we kind of got a advantageous draft where we kind of get to R3 without having to blind anything or giving up prio. So when you end up drafting that Ashe Seraphine and then taking away just dive threat, like we were discussing doing the Melban actually instead. But then looking at all the engage, it made sense for us to take it, and then we get the advantageous jungle matchup after. So it's not so much playing for like these high execution things. We kind of just got handed a lot of things that just made sense. So it wasn't. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's anything past that, quite honestly.
Gotcha.
So, would you say, do you feel like you guys successfully capitalized on the lessons that you learned on Sunday? Like, are we seeing a definitively upgraded version of your play as opposed to Sunday?
So Sunday, like we haven't done anything as a team since Sunday. Like it's kind of just been a dry 4 days since then. But I think we come in with a refreshed mindset. We kind of get a chance to have a rougher series that kind of pushes us further than we've been pushed otherwise. And those takeaways really are valuable, right? Like you're not going to learn anything from winning all the time. Like you'll have those little things, but Like I said, kind of to one of the earlier questions, being able to have that discussion prior to the series today, and remembering that we all need to be on the same page, or we just need to be, more talkative, more vocal, in our planning stages for throughout the game, I think is probably the best reminder that, when we're having those discussions, it pays dividends in the long haul.
And final question for
That's
me.
awesome.
One of the Chance. One of the things that I wanted to ask you, talking about paying dividends, the leads that you guys were able to get in both of those games, when you're talking about communication and the way you guys play, that last play of the series, you guys are huddled around that dragon pit, and it's a 4v5 situation. And what we were calling it was whether or not Jobless Piggies were going to actually feel good enough to take a 4v5 fight, even though the Rumble was down. And then we see a fantastic engage from Nick, getting the Magnet Storm on top of 5 people, and then the follow-up from you and from your jungler. Just absolutely burst them down. What are the comms like in that moment? Like the trust that you guys have built, you're talking about the adaptations that you guys have made from Sunday. Like, what is it like in that moment, knowing that you're going to win that fight?
So to double back on that one just super slightly, so it kind of ended up being a chain of plays. So we had the bot, like Kaisa Galio into killing me, and then they end up burning the remainder of their engage on expert in mid, and he's calming the entire like setup for Dragon. They've blown everything on me. They've blown everything on me. So the rest of the team's like, okay, well they can't really walk into this. Like we just get full prio, right? Um, and so we're playing off vision control. So the call is like, we don't have to hard commit here. We're able to just kind of play back, and evidently that's kind of what you see with them kind of over chasing and extending into our jungle. For Nick to be able to get the crazy Relar, and then it's just kill these guys. What are they doing?
Awesome.
Well, my last question was my last question, so I am just going to say, Sovereign, thank you again for joining us, and congratulations on this win.
Congratulations.
We're looking forward to seeing the rest of your guys' season play out.
Thanks. You should definitely stream us next week.
Ooh. All right. Maybe we will. Keep posting. Everybody keep posting your games and the match dates, and we'll keep picking them up when we can. All right. Thanks, Sovereign. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
All right, that was Sovereign, once again, mid laner for FEC, winning in a very nice and tight 2-0 here. Horizon, this has been a blast.
Absolutely.
Thanks for casting with me on such short notice.
Oh, no,
Folks,
I was excited.
I messaged Horizon 3 hours ago, something like that. It was not very long ago.
I was eating Mexican food, and he messaged me. I was like, I need to get home right now.
Awesome. I was also eating dinner when I messaged you. So that was perfect. All right. Well, I am going to set the channel to raid Aegis Esports, who are at the end of a very exciting game right now. Anything that you'd like to say, Horizon, before we pop on out of here?
Italian food is the best possible food. You should eat spaghetti sauce with eggs in it, hard-boiled eggs. And Chance is a baller for getting this one organized in such a short amount of time.
Aw, shucks. Also, seconding the pasta thing. I really want to try eggs and pasta sauce now.
Really good.
And you've given me a new goal.
What I live for.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night, folks.